Sarah Thompson never believed in the supernatural until the night her world froze at 3:17 a.m., 3 months after moving into a quaint Cape Cod house on Maplewood Lane with her boyfriend, Mark. She began noticing anomalies too unsettling to ignore. Doors she was certain she'd locked lay ajar. The house's temperature fluctuated wildly, plunging to an icy chill in rooms bathed by afternoon sun. Mark dismissed her fears as old house quirks, but Sarah's instincts screamed peril. One night, driven by desperation, she installed an infrared camera outside their bedroom window. She couldn't have imagined what she captured. At precisely 3:17 a.m., Mark rose from bed, eyes glassy, jaw slack, and crossed their moonlit yard. He stopped at a patch of wilted grass, stared fixedly at their bedroom window, and remained motionless until dawn. His body radiated neither warmth nor life, yet he breathed steadily, never blinking. When Sarah woke, Mark had no memory of leaving the bed. His soft denial, "I was asleep, love," sent a chill deeper than the night air. But Sarah knew the truth. Someone, something, was puppeteering him. Over the next week, she pored over local records. She unearthed at least 30 similar incidents. Partners sleepwalking in unison along Maplewood Lane, their eyes vacant as train headlights, all gathering outside homes at the witching hour. None could recall a single detail. Sarah's fear escalated into obsession. She spent sleepless nights pacing her living room, listening to the hum of the refrigerator, imagining figures beyond the walls. In a hazy dawn, she noticed movement out of the corner of her eye, a row of glowing orbs drifting along the fence line. Paralyzed, she watched as neighbors, men, women, even children, stood outside her home, autopilot by the same force that controlled Mark. Their heads turned in unison toward her. She blinked and saw her own reflection in the window. Eyes empty, posture rigid. Panic seized her throat. She staggered back, tripped, and in that moment, their heads snapped back forward, resuming their silent watch. By sunrise, the watchers had vanished. Mark stirred in bed, warm and human once more, asking sleepily, "Rough night?" Sarah couldn't speak. Her camera footage was gone, overwritten by hours of static. The neighbors smiled politely as she fled, clutching her coat. Sarah never returned. Local legend says that if you walk Maplewood Lane at 3:17 a.m., you'll glimpse a lone woman racing down the road, her eyes hollow and frantic, forever trapped in the watcher's silent vigil. Dr. Elizabeth Chun had built her reputation on empathic breakthroughs, until patients began erasing her from their minds. It started innocuously. During a routine session, Mrs. Rodriguez peered at her and asked, "Do I know you?" Elizabeth's heart constricted. She checked the clinic roster. Rodriguez had been in therapy with her for 2 years, yet the patient insisted she'd been seeing and healing herself. Within days, 6 more patients reported identical amnesia. Each detailed their struggles, remembered every therapist except Elizabeth, and claimed self-guided homework cured them. Clinic cameras painted a surreal scene. Empty chairs opposite Elizabeth as she delivered sessions. Her voice echoed into nothingness. Panic blurred her vision as she cataloged incidents. Medical colleagues attributed the phenomenon to a rare neurological condition. But how could it target one doctor exclusively? Elizabeth's sleepless nights devolved into frantic research. She scoured family archives and hospital records, unearthing her grandmother's asylum file from 1952, diagnosed with shared psychosis. The elderkin claimed an invisible healing presence, guiding patients unseen. The staff dismissed her as delusional. She died alone in her padded cell, terrified by inheritance. Elizabeth devised experiments. She sat in a soundproof chamber, speaking into a recorder. Later, she played the tape to herself. Her own voice coached her through anxiety exercises. The realization hollowed her. She could heal minds without presence. In their memories, she danced on the edges of awareness. Her next patient, a man with chronic PTSD, entered a void. No greeting, no chair. Only Elizabeth's disembodied words. When he wept in relief, she scribbled his progress on a clipboard. Only the ink vanished moments later. Reflections betrayed her. Mirrors flickered. Her outline shimmered before dissolving. Family photos revealed gaping silhouettes where she once stood at graduations and reunions. The Chun lineage had carried a ghostly gift to cure by existing in the fissures of memory. Now Elizabeth navigates a world blind to her. She inhabits empty rooms to heal broken minds. Each patient exits stronger and oblivious. She presses her hand against clinic doors, longing to feel their weight. Yet the handle slips through her grasp. Only her journal remains, inked in meticulous detail, cursing the price of an invisible touch. Marcus Hartwell's passion for antique dolls blossomed from a lonely inheritance. A single porcelain doll discovered in his late aunt's dusty attic. Her hair silk-threaded and undamaged. Her eyes lifelike glass orbs that reflected lamplight. Her gown. A Victorian gown scented faintly with lavender. Marcus brought her home, enthralled by the quiet dignity she exuded. Soon, he scoured estate sales for similar treasures. Each acquisition fueled an electric thrill. A Scandinavian child's doll missing half its face, its empty eye socket staring into nothingness. A Japanese bisque figure wearing a shattered kimono. A delicate French mignonette with hair worn threadbare. His apartment, once sparse, transformed into a cathedral of porcelain heads mounted on stands, their eyes tracking his every move. Friends noted Marcus's shift, from charismatic collector to reclusive caretaker. He fortified his doors with locks, installed surveillance cameras, and referred to the dolls as his family. Late at night, he'd wander the rows, whispering names he assigned them. One thunderous evening, Marcus awakened to the faint murmur of children's sobs. Darkness swallowed his apartment. Only the moonlight revealed the dolls in new positions, forming a semicircle around the entryway. Their vacant eyes glistened with unshed tears. On the hardwood floor, tiny porcelain feet left scratches that spelled one word: home. Fear and fascination warred within Marcus. He researched each doll's provenance, uncovering tragedies. A toddler swept away by floodwaters in 1903. A 9-year-old succumbing to diphtheria in 1897. A sibling duo lost in a house fire in 1912. Every child's spirit seemed bound to its doll, trapped in eternal mourning. That night, Marcus loaded the dolls into a rented van. He drove through rain-slicked roads toward an abandoned orphanage on the outskirts of town, one rumored to house the souls of forgotten children. The dolls sat upright, heads swiveling to face the orphanage's crumbling facade. Inside, he placed each doll in a darkened nursery. As thunder cracked overhead, Marcus witnessed a flicker of movement. Tiny shadowy figures emerging from the walls, childlike silhouettes reaching for their porcelain counterparts. The dolls' tears flowed freely now, pooling on the dusty floor. "They're finally home," a whisper echoed in Marcus's mind. He fled into the night, but the dolls stayed. Local trespassers reported hearing childlike laughter in the orphanage and glimpsed a man guiding ragged figures back into its depths. Marcus's car was found abandoned. The crates lay empty. More unsettling were the dolls' shattered fragments scattered on the road. Porcelain shards, etched with tiny footprints leading back to the decaying building. To this day, late-night explorers swear they see dolls lined up at the orphanage windows, their hollow eyes scanning the horizon for the next guardian. David Park's shift at the remote county radio tower began like any other, tuning emergency frequencies and logging routine traffic, accident reports, weather updates, dispatcher check-ins. The tower, perched atop a lonely ridge, offered solitude and a panoramic view of silent forests. It suited him. At 2:47 a.m. on an unseasonably warm October night, his headphones crackled. A voice flat, devoid of inflection, announced, "Collision on Highway 9. 3 vehicles. 2 fatalities at 6:23 a.m. David frowned. Weather models predicted clear skies. He noted the message in his log as an anomaly. At 6:23 a.m., his radio burst to life with exact crash details. 2 dead, 1 hospitalized, delayed by a sudden fog bank that defied forecasts. The precision of prediction unsettled him, but he chalked it up to a prank or frequency bleed. He waited the next night. At 2:47 a.m., the voice returned, this time describing a fire. 1247 Elm Street. Electrical fault in basement wiring. Evacuation required at 11:15 p.m. On impulse, David called the fire department, reporting a possible hazard. Investigators found exposed wiring ready to spark. Residents escaped unharmed. Relief turned to dread as the predictions escalated. Building collapses, mass poisonings, coordinated traumas, each described with meticulous detail. The voice referred to timeline maintenance and acceptable losses, implying deliberate orchestration rather than random tragedy. David attempted to locate the signal. He roamed the tower, scanning signal scanners. The source eluded him. Sometimes it seemed to originate within his own equipment. Other operators heard nothing. Then the voice turned on him. Technician interference. Integration required. The next morning, David discovered a small transmitter soldered inside his console, one he never installed. It was broadcasting only on his frequency, yet when he disconnected it, the voice merely repeated from static. The final transmission he recorded at 2:47 a.m. Train derailment, milepost 42. Coordinated for 9:00 p.m. Loss, 17 lives. Technician now aligned. Panicked, David fled the tower at dusk, leaving logs and equipment behind. Local legend says maintenance crews who replaced him vanished after precisely 3 weeks on the night shift. Their final logs contain frantic scribbles, recordings of David's voice plotting disasters he swore he never planned. To this day, on 157.420 MHz at 2:47 a.m., the signal returns, cold, authoritative, promising tomorrow's horrors. And whoever listens becomes part of the timeline, unable to resist joining the chorus of calamity.